Hi there, I'm Drew. I'm a sponsored amateur disc golfer in the Peoria, Illinois area, and here's your course preview for the 27-hole layout at McNaughton for the Illinois Amateur Championships in 2022. So for McNaughton, we're going to be playing the short tees. So for hole one, it's a par three, 318 feet. You do have a couple options. The miss here is to go on the right side. If you go on the left side and where you can see those shrubs and trees, you're going to have a really hard time getting par. There is a straight gap that you can hit here, something that will go slightly to the right and maybe fade to the left. Otherwise, you can go to the right and then go to the left or right side of this bush that's on the right side. If you do go too far, you can get an easy par by going around back, but it'll be a hard birdie. Hole two, very much a downhill shot. You can barely see the pin, if not at all, while you're on the tee. Here, you're going to want to throw something that's going to go straight, glide down this hill. If you go off to the left into the shrubs, again, it's going to be very hard to get that birdie. But if you're on the right side, you're going to have more of an open shot. Here, as we get closer to the basket, the wood line does come into play a little bit if you go too far, but there is this cutout where it's going to make it a little easier to putt. Hole three, you're not going to be able to see the basket on the shot, but it's a par three, 255 feet. It's a little straighter than you would think. It does curve a little bit to the right, so you want to throw something that's a gentle forehand or a nice turnover shot that's going to turn out being a little overstable to stay straight. At this point on the left side, there are some trees and shrubs, but it does get fairly open. The green does have a lot of roots, so you got to watch your footing. Hole four, par three, 360 feet. This one can land you into trouble if you throw over to the right side or if you hit one of these trees and kick over to the left. The hole is going to be, again, in the short locations, so you do want to watch some of these high branches that the drone's going under right now. But I like to go on the right side of both of these trees and have something that fades to the left, getting close to the basket. You do want to be careful if you throw something and you turn it over, it'll be on the right side, it'll be difficult. And if you throw something too overstable, it can skip off the ground and go on the left. Hole five, par three, 258 feet. This one has a hill that has a slight grade going from right to left. The basket for the short location is going to be on the left side. So you want to throw something straight here that has some slight fade at the end. A lot of open area if you can hit this gap between these two trees, which the drone will fly through right now. Here you do have some ace potential, and you have some room in the back if you go past it. Hole six, par three, 207 feet. You do have these couple trees right along the fairway. There is a left gap that you could have something with a forehand. Just recently, we had a tree taken down, but right by where this V is. Another thing to take or to note here is that the basket is actually going to be in the short location. So it's not where the basket is right now. It's going to be focusing on where that pin is. That's going to be where the basket is. Hole seven, par three, 396 feet, one of the longer holes on the course. What you're going to want to do is throw something that goes straight and slightly to the left. Uh, my opinion and my play is usually a big Anheuser forehand, something that you go through down this fairway and kind of comes to the right. Uh, there are a couple options here, but it is really easy to hit a tree and not get a lot of distance off the tee. So you just want to try to eat up as much distance as you can with your tee shot. Hole 8, par 3, 276 feet. This one is a slight uphill, even though off the tee there is a downhill right here through this gully. You want something powerful that you can throw straight, that goes a little bit to the right once you get through these two trees here. There is also another play if you have lots of power. You can go a huge spike hyzer, something around the right side, and try to land somewhere behind the basket. But that is another option that you have as well. Here we are, hole 9, par 3, 255 feet. You have the straight shot right here. You want something that goes a little to the left near the end. There are a couple guardian trees, and the right side here can be forgiving in spots, but if you get put in the wrong spot, you're going to have to really throw over those bushes, which can be a real problem. Here in the short position, you do have, uh, you probably want something that's a little bit slower to get uh, around this area for your easy birdie. Hole 10, par 3, 363 feet. As a righty, I like to throw something that's pretty fast because it's 363 feet and you're also throwing pretty severely uphill, along with this entire fairway being on a left to right slope. Something with an anhyzer that's going to go straight, or it's going to go to the right and then start going straight. Here, the left side and right side can be not forgiving at times, but the pin's going to be up here at the top of the hill. Hole 11, par 3, 297 feet. You're going to want to take your straightest disc and throw it down the pipe. On the left and right side, there are some forgiving spots, but the left side especially can be very unforgiving. Your goal is to hit the gap between the tree on the right here and the shrubs on the left. Here, the basket has a fairly open green, so if you can get somewhere around here, you should have a circle one putt. Hole 12, just like hole 11, you have this gap that you need to hit. It's a par 3, 252 feet. On the left side and the right side, there is about the same amount of shrubs, but if you go on the left side, you can be a lot earlier than you can on the right side if you're in the right side shrubs. Here, if you can throw something just straight and down the middle, you should land somewhere around here, and it's going to be fairly difficult to go far on this one. Hole 13, par 3, 418 feet. This is also going to be a par 3, but you're going to want to throw something that has a lot of distance for you. There is an opening on the left side here where you could throw to get an approach shot, or if you want to be more risky, you can try to throw something that's going to end up on the right side here. As long as you hit that first bend on the right side and you go past it, you should be able to land somewhere in this open area that could give you an approach shot. The tricky thing is going to be the tree that's guarding it. Hole 14, par 3, 369 feet. Again, the shrubs are the same thing on the left and right side. There are some trees that are going to cause you problems if you go several feet into those areas. I think one of the severe misses here is to get put in this right side tree as we're passing it. If you get in there, it's going to be really hard to get up and down, but still possible. You have a lot of open area here on the left, and there's hole 14. Hole 15, par 3, 330 feet. Here, you almost have a triple mando. It's not officially a triple mando, but you do have a low ceiling and shrubs on the right and left. You want to throw something that either goes straight and ends up going a little bit to the right, and that should be putting you somewhere around here for a long putt, or if you pipe it, you can be right down here for a birdie. Hole 16, par 3, 381 feet. Here we are going straight down the middle. OB is on the road or past the road, so you want to be careful of that, especially with these trees coming on the left side. If you throw it at those, you're playing the lottery to see where you're going to get your kick. You want to throw something. If you're throwing along these shrubs here, if you do hit something, there is a possibility you could be out, or you could just drop down to where you can have some sort of pitch out or patent pending shot. Here, there is a little bit of a slope on the green, so be careful of that. Hole 17, par 4, 429 feet. For this one, it's going to be playing close to the top of the hill, so you want to throw something really far, and it's also uphill. So you want to throw something as far as you can, getting this distance up the hill, and we're coming by these evergreens where the basket is, and this is where you're going to want to be for your approach shot, or even for a putt if you have a real can. Also, if you see any trees down during your round or while you're practicing, let us know and we can take care of it. Hole 18, par 5, 849 feet. We are normally playing from the shorts, but for 18, we're going to be playing from the tee pad on top of the hill. This is a par 5. On or over the road is going to be OB, so you want to be careful of that. But just throw something that you know you're going to have somewhere in the center of the fairway. And as we're going down this green, there's a lot of open space, somewhere to really let loose. But here, you're going to go down the hill. And then as you get closer to the green, you're definitely going to be going up the hill again. But the green is fairly open. Now we're getting into the temp holes. This is going to be hole 19, par 3, 301 feet. This is going to go along the tree line here, but the basket is going to be fairly close to this tree. So that's going to be your only guardian right now. You can do something that has a righty forehand and take the water possibly into play if the wind gets a hold of it. Or if you're going to do something backhand and throw it straight, that could leave you an option. Hole 20, par 3, 385 feet. There is going to be this tree on the left that's going to have a single branch out that's going to play a role in what you're going to do and possibly get into your head. But here, once you get past that, you have some opening. There is a shrub on the right side that could play a part if your disc goes over there. But here, the green is fairly open and possibly even hit some of these branches on the above the basket if you're too high. Also, these won't be the baskets that we're going to be playing in the tournament. They're just there for reference to kind of show you where they're going to be. Hole 21, par 3, 231 feet. It's going to be a slightly blind shot, but it's going to be curving to the right. If you're right-handed, it's a possible turnover shot, or you can throw something forehand to try to get it far enough out and get it close to the basket. The green is a little bit tighter here, so if you do go long, you could end up in those shrubs. For a putt, that could be difficult. Hole 22, par 3, 287 feet. One of the harder holes on the temporary course here, but basically we're going to be going down this alleyway that's almost a 90-degree turn. Here I'm taking the high hyzer shot for a forehand. The green again is pretty tight, and the woods could come into play very significantly. If you throw something too straight, it's going to go into the deep woods, and if you throw something that gets cut off at first, then that could really hinder your par attempt as well. Hole 23, par 3, 240 feet. You're going to want to throw something that's straight and then ends up going right at the very end. There is going to be some shrubs here that could really play a role in what you're going to be doing. The safe play is going to be going further to the left and risking the single tree rather than the forest on the right. And then the green is going to be slightly sloped, so watch out for an elevated putt. Hole 24, par 4, 422 feet. There are several gaps you can hit here. The most common one will probably be this left side gap that the drone's going through. You got to watch out for some phantom branches that could play a role in your disc. You want to throw something hard, but also accurate. That gap is not very big. As you come down here, there are some other branches that you have to be careful of. And then with this last tree cluster on the left side, you're going to hit this green. That's going to have this green area that's going to be about circle 1. Hole 25, par 3, 250 feet. Slightly blind shot here. You're going to be going up over this hill, but the basket's going to be right next to this tree that's going to be in the fairway. Just watch out here because you want to be to enough, far enough from the basket so that you can be away from this tree, or you want to be close enough to the basket so you're far away from the tree. But that tree is going to be your aiming point when you're on the tee pad. Hole 26, par 3, 294 feet. You can see the flag basket from the drone, but it's going to be semi-difficult while you're on the tee to see that. Again, this large tree on the right side is going to be your guide of where you want to be and where you want to land. It shouldn't play a huge role on the tee to hinder your putt, but it's going to play a role in helping you understand where the basket is. Last hole, hole 27, par 3, 249 feet. From the tee pad, you're going to have these two trees that are going to play a role in what you're going to decide to do, whether you're going to go to the left, the center, or the right. And then you're going to come up to this basket here that's going to be in and close by the wood line. So you could have a hindered putt of where you're going to be going. Thanks for watching the Illinois Amateur Championship McNaughton 27 temporary course overview. Good luck in your tournament.